Are you looking for a job? Do you get sweaty and nervous when you're at a job interview? The people who you thought would get you work, are they getting restraining orders against you? If so, you're in the right place. Hello, I'm Ben Jarvis, and I've decided to help you in these difficult times to land that job interview you're looking for. I've been to hundreds and hundreds of unsuccessful job interviews, and I'll tell you what you can or can't say when asked certain questions based on my personal experience. Let's get started. Number 1, tell me about yourself. This is usually the first and most difficult question you could be asked. The secret is that they want the kind of answer they can relate to. This is why you have to do your research. Before you go to the interview, find out where the guy lives. Follow him around for a few days. Find out his habits, his likes and his dislikes, and when the question comes up, tell him about himself, but like it's about yourself. Boom! Hard part is over, the smooth sailing from here. Question 2. What motivates you to do your best on the job? Revenge. Question 3. What experience do you have in this field? If you're like me, most of the time you go in there not knowing about the job position. Just avoid being specific. Be as general as possible. What experience do I have in this field? What experience don't I have? Question 4. Describe your management style. Violently efficient. See, in situations like this, the word violent doesn't really mean violent, but it's a strong word that will impress. Other examples are dangerously productive, homicidally effective. Question 5. What do your coworkers say about you? Who cares? I stay on task and I do my job. I hate coworkers. Question 45. Do you have any blind spots? I did. You see what I did there? I implied that I don't anymore, but I also implied don't ever go there again. Question 15. Do you know anyone who works for us? This is like in high school when you meet someone from another school and they start asking you if you know someone. And you ask them if they know someone. And you play along, you just throw out some random names like Johnny Schwartz works here, and he's all like, I don't know who that is. And then you ask the interviewer if they know someone from where you're from. Name someone they might actually know, and you look cool. And also, if they actually do know them, you'll be a shoo-in. Question 17. What have you learned from mistakes on the job? Here your interviewer is expecting that the job is the most important thing for a person. That means you have to squeeze out a tear and say, I've learned to love. Question 45. Have you ever had to fire someone? How'd you feel about that? They ask you this. They want you to say, no, I got fired. They suspect it's why you're there. It's bad if they find out though, so just lean back and say, yeah, sure. I fire people all the time. Fire people for breakfast. Question 45. What is your philosophy towards work? Simple. Your philosophy towards work is the science towards work which considers truth towards work. Question 45. Have you ever been asked to leave a position? If you haven't, say no. If you have, say, not as often as I've asked people to leave their positions. For breakfast. Question 18. What irritates you about coworkers? This question is a trap. Or is it? I thought that at first, but then I realized that this guy has to deal with a bunch of dorks on a daily basis. He just wants someone to gossip with. If your interviewer asks you this question, you're doing great. He already trusts you. So go off and have fun. What irritates me about coworkers? They're lazy. They pee on the toilet seat. They finish the coffee and don't put on a new pot. They don't know how to do their jobs. You can be sure the interviewer will relate with you on this, although he isn't allowed to show it. Might even pretend like he's shocked. But that's because he has to. If he was really shocked, why would he ask you the question in the first place? Question 45. What is your greatest strength? If you have a weird trick you can do it now. Mine is opening a can with my teeth. Question 24. Tell me about your dream job. Mine is to be an astronaut. It's probably the best answer because it's most people's dream job. Question 25. Why do you think you would do well at this job? Just say, look at me. Question 29. What are you looking for in a job? Look at how this question is structured. The guy's totally hitting on you. So just replace the word job with the word interviewer and go off. What are you looking for in a job? Smart, funny, good looking. You can add a few more specific details to what you've seen in your interviewer. Then you can give him a wink. Question 37. What would your previous supervisor say is your strongest point? Question 37. Do your skills match this job or another job more closely? If people had skills that match jobs, there would be no jobs available. Point out a person in the office and say, does he look like he matches his job? The guy's a sissy. Me? I'm cool. Question 45. Tell me about your ability to work under pressure. Most bosses will ask you this. They want to see pressure, and they want you to work with it. That's why you have to stare them in the eyes and start breathing deeply like this. Really start panting. That'll show them that you're under pressure right now and that you're doing great. Question 45. Would you be willing to relocate if required? If it's been located once, it can be relocated. Tell them you're great at finding things, but whoever lost this thing we're relocating again should be fired. I mean, the company already had to locate it once. How many times does it have to be relocated? Question 37. Do you think you are overqualified for this position? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Overqualified is bad, like overcooked is burnt. Make sure you don't do anything that will lead them to suspect that you're overqualified. If anything, lean in the opposite direction. Question 38. What qualities do you look for in a boss? What was the question? Question 45. Question 45. Do you have any questions for me? He's asked you so many things by now. Now it's time to ask him what he makes, how long he expects to work here, what his disappointments are. The ball's in your court. Have fun with it. Okay. So, if you keep all of that in mind, you'll do great at your interview. Now I'm off to practice for my own interview. Bye. Question 45.